What's up, you guys? My name is Joyce, Pring, and welcome to That's Wonderful. This is the only podcast where we discuss news trends, tips, and tidbits that will help you live life with love.
Whether it's self-love, and there's nothing wrong with that, love from all things that are local, or the way that you show your love to everyone, we will be talking about it and how we can create the world that we live in to be so much more wonderful than it already is.
That's
wonderful! Hey, we got it! Hey, who would have thought?
Who'd have thought we did one thing right already? Worth their money. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. My name is Joyce Pring.
My name is Atayde.
Welcome to the podcast. It's called That's Wonderful because this is going to be all about news trends, tips, and tidbits, how to live your life with more love. And as you can see, si Atayde, kailangan niya talaga ng love sa buhay niya.
No, kasi I realized if self-love is the only love I can get, i-perfect na natin siya.
natin to.
Yes.
Oy, pero hindi lang self-love ha. We'll be discussing other topics on this podcast. What else are we doing here, Atayde?
We're going to be talking about a lot of different things. This is, of course, where we're going to have some wonderful topics. We're going to be sharing a lot of our experiences because that's really what we can learn from. Experiences from other people and experiences that we have that we can look back on. We're going to be talking to a lot of personalities and, a lot of the activities that Globe has created. Everything that is wonderful.
Yeah, a lot of personalities. By that we mean the split personalities that Atayde and I have.
Welcome to all of you.
Welcome to all of it. It's going to be all about self-love, love for all things local, or the way we show it to everyone. And Aaron and I are so excited about this. This is the first episode of the podcast. So if you guys didn't know just yet, Aaron and I used to have a show together called The Rundown. And on that show, we're kind of doing the same thing here. Because on The Rundown, we talk about celebrity news, trending topics, great things that are happening on the internet. And we kind of wanted to bring that to the podcast arena. We also would like to get your opinions, kasi minsan we get the best topics or the best suggestions from our listeners. They can use our hashtag. This is in partnership with Globe, and we want to talk about everything that's wonderful. How have you been?
I have been great. It's perfect that we're talking about this whole self-love thing because that's what I've really been focusing on. You, on the other hand, have been more
other-centric.
Dual love, hindi lang self-love.
Yeah, I think we've been good. It's great timing to be doing this podcast together because not only are we in better places, better places with who we are, but also, I guess, because it's a great time for other people to really join in the conversation.
Yes.
You know how we used to have callers on the show before, but now we'll actually be able to talk to them through online. So if you guys would like to do that, please do check it out. We'll also be doing a digital newsletter on Globe that we'll be talking to you guys about later on the show. But this will be a lot of topic-based stuff.
And now we're going to be talking about Buwan ng Wika.
Yes, or Linggo ng Wika.
No, see, because when I started, it was Linggo ng Wika when I was still in school.
Yeah.
And now it's like a whole month celebration.
Is this a good thing for you, Aaron Atayde, who grew up in the States?
See, that's part of my story. I wanted to know, what is your Linggo ng Wika story?
Okay, so a lot of people think that my first language is English, right?
No.
No?
No, I don't think that. I never thought that.
You never thought that? That's because you know me as a friend. Like, you met me first in person. But when you listen to me on the radio, the assumption that I would always get is, si Joyce Pring, nako, Inglesera yan, di marunong mag-Filipino yan. But the real thing is, I actually grew up in a family that spoke Filipino primarily in the house. And the only reason why I can speak English, I guess, as some people would say, fluently, is because I studied the language. It wasn't my first language. Filipino talaga yung language ko. And it's the language that I'm very comfortable in conversing with, even at home, right? And I have so many stories of Linggo ng Wika and Filipino Week kasi nagde-declamation contest ako. Tapos sumayaw din ako ng tinikling with actual bamboos.
No!
I am not even kidding.
There needs to be video of this
There
somewhere.
are videos of these that are hidden.
Where can I find them?
In my mom's closet. That will never see the light of day.
I'm gonna get this. You know I'm close to your mom.
I am her daughter. I will make her hide it.
Oh, okay.
When I was in grade school, it was heavily celebrated. Buong buwan, hahanap kami ng, per week, halimbawa, ano ba yung mga Filipino dishes na pwede nyong kainin? You your favorite Filipino dishes. And then the next week, your favorite Filipino heroes. And then the next week, your favorite Filipino destinations. Tapos, meron ng ganun yung Filipino culture stuff, yung mga sayaw, ganyan, mga oratorical contests. So, I actually really enjoyed this a lot. But more than anything, I loved how colorful and beautiful our culture is. this. Like, during Linggo ng Wika, you don't really just talk about the Filipino language, you also celebrate being a Filipino.
Yes.
Diba? So, yun yung mga ginawa ko. Ikaw ba? Meron ka bang mga ganon?
You're right. I was born and raised in the States. So when I came here, I did not know Tagalog at all. So when people look at me, di si Aaron, Englishero yan. Oo. Totoo yun.
Your
Ganun talaga. I'm
assumptions
not
are
gonna deny
correct.
it. When I started to learn Tagalog, it was in school. I was in grade 3. I had to go to special Filipino class. I had absolutely no idea what was going on. Before I would go to school, some guy was looking for his dog. And I'm like, Ma, there's someone looking for the dog. We need to find. What dog are you talking about? There's someone looking for taho. And my mom was like, you are going to fail. This is it.
What? So, yung nagbibenta ng taho-taho?
Yeah, I thought that he was looking for his dog. And this is me.
And his dog's name is Taho?
I don't know this. So I had to go to school and then like literally learn Tagalog as it went on. And during Linggo ng Wika, I had to put on like this itchy barong. And that was how I learned to fall in love with the Filipino culture. And ever since then, I saw my teacher in special Filipino. And now that I'm a broadcaster in Tagalog, she's like, alam mo, Aaron, nakala ko dati wala ka ng pag-asa.
May pag-asa
Ito na,
pala.
Meron pala. Kaya mo pala matutunan yan. And
Yeah.
I was like, see, dati hindi mo ako makakausap ng Tagalog. Now I do. I love the Filipino language. I think that there's so much the language that you can't get in any other language. Like, we were talking about it before the start of the episode, like how beautiful of a word takam is.
Sabi ko kasi kay Aaron, there are certain Filipino words that actually feel as they sound. Like when you say nakakatakam, it actually feels like what it means.
Yeah, it's like nakakatakam. Sinigang.
Oo, di ba? Parang may isip mo kaagad siya. Or yung malinamnam. Alam mo kaagad na yung definition ng word, it feels like the sound of the word.
Yeah.
And I feel like there are certain things that you can't really express in, well, the only other language that I know is English. Pero, di ba, pag in Filipino, there are certain words that when you say it, it expresses it exactly as it is.
Yes.
Like, kilig.
I completely agree. I was in Australia and I was talking to my mom's new husband and he's like, what is this kilig? And I'm like, oh man, I can't really explain that to you right now. That's what makes it so beautiful. What is your favorite Filipino expression though? Like word that you would always throw out or something because
Salbahe.
when do you use salbahe?
No, because like if somebody says something that's not necessarily nice but is kind of true, you go, salbahe mo.
I personally, and you know this, and nahawa ka sa akin dito,
Alin?
I love saying alat. Like,
Ang alat mo.
ang alat. Because when you say, you're salty, it doesn't have the same sound as, uy, ang alat mo. Diba? It's just completely different.
Sorry, Millennial Aaron, for those who listening who don't know what alat means. What
Yes.
does it mean ba?
Alat means like when something doesn't go the way that it's supposed to. And you're left in a state where it's like, ano na, ang alat naman ito. Parang ganun eh. It rolls off the tongue so fast. And you know, you have a little swag when you say, alat, diba? It fits so many different situations.
There's a growing community of young Filipinos who have been supporting the language more and
Yes.
more, 'di ba?
Yes.
As in nakikita natin yung mga, halimbawa yung mga t-shirts na merong mga Filipino jokes ng ibang mga tao. Like unless you're Filipino, tsaka mo lang siya magigets
Yes.
talaga. Or I also love the fact that we're now celebrating Filipino music more and more, na yung linguistics ng mga Filipino rappers natin and our local artists have been growing so much and exponentially in the past couple of years that I'm just floored and so happy for everyone.
What about your thoughts on foreigners doing covers of Filipino songs? Have you seen any of those yet? So, what are your thoughts on that?
Way back 2010, maybe, I worked with a foreigner, with a foreign artist. He's American. And we actually did a cover of a Filipino song. And I was so excited to see a foreigner to cover a Filipino song because one thing that I would usually hear is they love the melody. We are melodically gifted, I
Yes.
think. And it comes from the fact that we love singing.
Yes.
We love karaoke. So, bata ka pa lang, you're indoctrinated that music is such a big part of the family. It's such a big part of the Filipino culture. So, you become naturally good at it, right? So, I like that. Foreigners are seeing that we're very good at creating melody. And number two, it seems like Filipino songs or the Filipino language becomes tongue twisters to foreigners also.
Yes. I was having a hard time when I was learning it. Oh man. I like that there are foreigners singing Filipino songs, mainly because if there are Filipinos singing English songs, it's the same thing.
And there's a new Filipino artist now, ha? Her name's Joyce Pring. She has a song called Baka Sakali. So
on that note, let's try these tongue
after
twisters,
this podcast episode. Ganda. Matalinghaga yung lyrics ni. Matalinghaga is poetic. Because we're celebrating Linggo ng Wika or Buwan ng Wika, so we're now picking out from Tiny Fishbowl, and it's either going to be tongue twisters or bugtong-bugtong.
Yes.
When we were younger, we used to do bugtong-bugtong.
And
in English, that's
riddle. Sabihin nyo, mali ako.
Tama. What's the first thing that we have? You want me to do it?
Oh no, I think I have to do it. I'm
Okay.
being put here to do this, so
Don't make an idiot out of yourself.
it's too late for that. Usong-usong isang salo-salong nagsisi usyosohan ang mga aso sa asosasyon sa Ascuzena. What does that mean? Ha? Tama naman yung binasa ko.
Ascuzena kasi usong-usong isang-isang salo-salong nagsisiusyosohan ang mga aso sa asosasyon sa Ascuzena.
Bakit parang tama yung ginawa mo, tas sa akin hindi?
Kasi mali talaga yung ginawa mo.
Ito. Minikaniko ni Monico, makina ng makina ni Monica. Makina ng Manika. Manika pala yun.
Minika. Because it's a Mini Cooper.
Minikaniko ni Monico, ang makina,
Minika.
Bakit nakasulad dito?
Fine, then listen to the paper. You guys have to tell us. At saka yung bumili ako ng bituka ng butika sa butika. Alam mo yun?
Bakit may butika sa butika?
Bakit may bituka ng butika sa butika?
Bakit ang klase butika yan?
Hindi ko alam.
Ayos yun hindi ko magagawa yan.
Ano ba to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I was dumbfounded just looking at all the case.
Palakang kabkab, kumakalabukab, kakakalabukab pa lamang, kumakalabukab na naman. Ano yung kumakalabukab? Kumukokak? Sa palaka. What do palakas do? They kokak.
Yeah, let's not trust these riddles because earlier they were selling bitukas ng mga butike sa
butika.
I mean,
Butika.
Buteka. What is a buteka?
One more. Kaya mo yan.
Makati sa Makati. Kilala ko yun.
Uy!
May pari sa Apari. Mahihilo sa Iloilo at may bagyo sa Baguio. Makati sa Makati, may pari sa Apari. Mahihilo sa Iloilo at may bagyo sa Baguio. Baguio. Okay. Last one for you. Parang iksi nito. I tried. It's only 2 words and I couldn't.
Aklat pang Katagalugan? Aklat pang Katagalugan.
Sige, gawin mo 5 times.
Ayoko nga.
Gawin mo 5 times.
Aklat pang Katagalugan. Aklat pang Aklat pang Katagalugan. Okay na yan.
Okay na yan.
And that's pretty much it for our tongue twisters.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
That was fun. I like that. Okay, so you were talking about how you wanted to be more of an advocacy where we promote Filipino and Tagalog and online and stuff like that. But the one advocacy that we've been seeing a lot, and it's not the sudden appearances of laptops on your tables.
Not that.
Because that
is just one instance. And
ever.
Particularly on this podcast.
On this podcast, yeah. Don't ask why. But one advocacy that is always being seen on Instagram and on Facebook is body positivity.
Yan.
And I wanted to ask you right now what your thoughts are on it, because I think that this is the type of conversation that is very different from a male perspective and a female perspective.
Yeah.
Especially because body positivity depends also on other people's perception of you, and then how that correlates with your perception of yourself.
Well, I think what body positivity is all about, parang a lot of people are focusing on how they feel about their body and not following, I guess, social norms with regards to what an ideal body should be.
Yes.
Right? And I like this movement with regards to how they're focusing more on being healthy and taking care of yourself and being comfortable with yourself than following a certain mold on what a woman or a man should look like.
I think that the one thing that a lot of people need to realize is that it is okay to not be okay with how you look. Because I know that there's a lot of people that might look in the mirror or might look at their selfies and be like, because like, for instance, for me, I have never been the type of person that was completely okay with how I look. And you know this about me. This is like one of my major insecurities, whether it is, my hair or my body shape is or whatever. But the one thing that I always wanted to keep instilling in my head was that it's okay, because that means that there's always room to improve.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you are completely okay with how you look, then that means that you're going to be stagnant with it. I think that some people like to look at body positivity and be like, no, this is self-love. I'm happy with who I am. But the fact that they're using that as a blanket for self-loathing is what sometimes gets to a very negative position where you make everyone else believe like, oh no, you're telling everyone, no, I'm fine, this is my body, but deep down inside it's self-loathing, and it's you're holding that anger towards yourself when you're alone. That's what you're not supposed to have.
Okay, so off the bat, I think one thing that we can learn is that body positivity can be a very subjective topic, right? Like when we talk about body positivity, the main thing that you have to remember is that yes, it's something that you have to define for yourself, but there are also still certain standards that are healthy and helpful for you that you need to consider. It's not something that we think you have to live by if it's not something that you believe in. These are things that I think are very important if you want to really be honest with what body positivity is all about. Like for me, feeling ko na my biggest struggle before was, even though I wasn't unhealthy, I always told myself na I am fat, and I would always think of being fat or being chubby or big boned as something negative.
Yes.
But in reality, some people are just born with different body types. I think body positivity is just understanding that each and every person is built individually, and we have our own individual builds that we have to take care of and love. And at the end of the day, I always tell people and my friends that the only thing that you really have to worry about is not fitting a certain mold that society gives us. You know how the titas would go, oh, parang tumataba ka, or kaya ka walang boyfriend kasi ang taba mo eh, magpapayat ka naman, or sama ka sa akin mag-spinning. But in reality, I think body positivity is really being aware of what kind of body you have and the things that you have to do to maximize taking care of it. And that means proper diet and exercise. In reality, beauty and the way that you perceive other people, the way that you deal with circumstances, and even your body image and your self-image, it all springs from what are the things that you put inside your body and how you take care of it, right? Yeah.
I have a theory. I think that the body shaming characteristic, or the trait that a lot of Filipinos have, is caused and started because of all of the lolas that are like, oh, bakit ang payat-payat mo na? You never are the perfect weight for any lola.
That's true.
Or any of the titas. Please don't do that to kids. That's not wonderful.
Yeah.
Be very, very positive to them.
Okay, so another topic for today. What are the ways that we become body positive? The first one, I think, is to define for yourself what body positivity is and be totally honest with yourself. Like what you said, it shouldn't be an excuse for self-loathing or for staying where you are. It always has to be a constant movement towards self-betterment, right? And you also have to remind yourself that body positivity isn't compartmentalized thing. It's something that's a byproduct of you just wholly taking care of yourself. That's mind, body, and spirit, right? That's the first one. What do you think is the second one?
I think that you should not concentrate on what other people say. And I know that that is the hardest thing, because the fact that if you take into account what everybody else says, that's still just adding on more to what you say about yourself.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's wonderful. The third one I think that you can add to that is to look at social media as not a place for comparison, but a place for inspiration. You see someone that's very batak or healthy lifestyle, ganyan, or whatever. You use that not to compare yourself, but go like, is that something that I want to do with my body? Is it something that will be better for me, for my well-being? So, I feel like social media is so important these days. And if you don't know how to control it, it can heavily affect your body image.
Yes.
But there are many other ways for you to figure out what body positivity is all about. But for me, especially, I really feel like it's just being able to take care of yourself so that you can be of better service and to love better the people around you, to do your career well, to help other people out, and to really educate others also on how to take care of themselves.
And again, to round it all out for myself, if you are consumed by the way that your body looks, change things here and there.
Yeah.
If you think that there's something wrong with you because you are consumed by it, don't be. It's okay to not be okay with how you look.
I think it's very important how we look. It's very important how we take care of ourselves and how we present ourselves.
Definitely.
But at the end of the day, what people value about us is the way that we take care of our hearts, our minds, and our souls, and the way that we use that to alleviate not just our lives, but the lives of the people around us. So we've also done our fair share of like doing things to improve our body image, right?
Yes.
Like for me, it's been going to my derma more frequently or eating healthier and exercising more and really just embracing that my body is not the skinny type because I've always wanted to be skinny. Like, I'll be honest with you, working in TV, I thought na kailangan payat ka talaga because that's what I see a lot, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's here in the Philippines or in Hollywood. But then I realized that, you know what? It really depends on you, what you want to do with your
Definitely.
body. So, for you naman, Parts, what are the steps that you've done to have like a healthier image of yourself?
Well, I go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week.
Grabe, pawak nga ng muscles. Ooh.
No. My biggest insecurity has always been my hair. When I was younger, I had way too much hair. I had hair that was going all the way down my back. And then after that, I suddenly had no more hair. So I had to have hair transplant. I know that there are a lot of people that might look at that and be like, ano ba naman yan? Di mo na kailangan yan. No. It's what my insecurity is. Ever since then, I've always just been so positive about my hair.
Yeah. Is that also how you think about cosmetic surgery? Because that primarily is
a
cosmetic surgery.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that was added to my body that was no longer there. If you want to have, some work done to fix your nose or whatever, that is your body. You do what you want to do, but as long as it is in moderation, that you still don't lose the essence of who you are.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like it all circles back to the fact that body image and body positivity is really all about self-improvement.
Yeah.
Like, how can you better yourself? How can you love yourself better and able to love others better? But of course, you guys have your own ideas and definitions of what body positivity is all about. Please do tell us more about this. Again, because we're experts at it, because we're not. I think it's wonderful that we're starting to have this narrative and conversation of just young people talking about how we can better ourselves and how we can have better body image and body positivity.
I want everyone to understand that we are not experts at anything here. So we are just here to have a conversation with all of you guys that are tuned in. We just want to all open up a conversation. Discourse is what makes everything better.
That's true. Hey, this is a good one. What's your message to people who want to feel good about themselves?
If you want to feel better about yourself, I'm telling you that I know it might sound stupid to some people, but just faking a smile will eventually turn into a real smile. And from a real smile, that'll turn into joy.
Yeah.
So it really starts with just trying to smile at the start of the day. That's my way to do it. Shout out to all of the body positivity people online, like Miss Isa Calzado. They're such incredible people. Thank you for continuing to do what you guys do.
All right, so that pretty much sums up our topic on body positivity. What's up next, Parts?
Next is our Wonder Poll.
Wow, that's so wonderful.
It's so wonderful. Topic number 1. You are very close to this because I understand that you talk to some SME people, right?
I actually talked about recently to some amazing local entrepreneurs who started their small and medium enterprises that basically are very successful now. So our first topic is about local SMEs branching outside of the Philippines. Like Maximango is opening their first store,
the
first
door,
branch in Singapore.
That's dope.
And we've seen this in many other huge brands from the Philippines that's spreading out throughout the world. Is this wonderful or not so wonderful?
I love it because I always love to follow that thought where it's think local but grow global.
Yes.
I love that because, yes, you need to really go for what you guys are good at here in the Philippines and then spread that culture across the entire world. And I think that is what's wonderful with the Filipino right now, that we're opening ourselves up to all of these different countries and our culture will reach them and they're going to be feeling all the love that the Filipino has.
And I think the Filipinos, we have some of the most talented, most beautiful, yummiest food products and people to offer the world. And I think just going global is the way to go. You
So-
grow locally and then you go global.
That's wonderful for you?
That's wonderful.
Young people going into the creatives industry. Oh, kamusta yung mga creatives industry natin
Kung sa mga
dyan?
creatives natin dyan, that's
wonderful.
wonderful. I think that's wonderful.
What would your advice to young people going into creatives?
don't just follow it for passion. Be realistic about these things, right? You have to be able to do the things that you love, which is creativity, your passion, all of these things. But at the same time, go into an industry where you know you'll grow and you'll be good at it. Because being creative is not just staying in one place. It's going from one place to another until you find like, where do I belong? Where does my passion grow? Where can I be of utmost use? So I think that's it. For me, I started out in doing fine arts. I was a painter, I was a writer, I was a musician, and then I moved into broadcasting. And a lot of people say na, hey, you're not doing creatives anymore. But in reality, wherever you go, you can always be a creative. It's just a matter of how you go about it.
I agree 100%. I think that young people going into creatives can be wonderful. It can also not. It depends on how the young person reacts to it. I think creatives is a type of industry that if you don't got it, you will know immediately.
Yeah.
Like if you have it in you or not. And if you feel that you don't, it's a very, very hard road to go down if you, again, like you said, are doing it just out of the passion for it. You have to also understand what the industry is all about. Okay, topic number 3. Filipinos going crazy over glass skin.
Oh, alam mo ba yan,
What
parts?
in the world is glass skin?
Ladies, please explain what glass skin is all about. It's like a Korean skin trend where when you look at their skin, it looks like it's glass because of how glossy it is. And you can basically go in front of a Korean person and if their skin is glass skin, like, pwede ka mag-mirror dun parts.
How did we go from glass skin and then before that was, uy, may konting oiliness ka.
No, but I think like
What is
glass
this?
skin is more of your skin is super smooth, maliit yung pores mo, ganyan.
How do you get this?
The 12-step Korean skin routine.
There is a 12-step Korean skin routine.
Now you can add 11 more steps to the one step that you
My
have.
one step is water. That's it. This is amazing.
Yeah, so it's like you wash your face and then you tone it and then you put face mask and then you moisturize and then you put oil and then all of these crazy things that they do every single day. Is it wonderful or not so wonderful?
I don't know what I can say.
I think it really depends.
Okay, because this is something that I'm guessing a lot more females do than males.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful for people na hiyang doon sa 12-step Korean skincare routine, right? But I personally, I'm not hiyang to it. I've tried it and it just, my skin doesn't respond well to it. I think it's wonderful to know how to take care of your skin, but you don't necessarily have to be obsessed with just one skin look. Because your skin might not be able to look that.
Absolutely no knowledge on anything that this is. If it's 12 steps, this is not something you can do in 30 seconds like how I wash my face.
Yeah, you're not even supposed to wash your face in just 30 seconds.
You're not?
Parts. Nope.
So obviously, if this takes a lot of time, as long as this doesn't get in the way of your regular life, because I have a feeling this takes like 3 hours to get this done.
Yeah.
As long as it's not getting in the way of sleep or like family or work, that's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
If it's not, I'm still wondering what that is.
It's not wonderful. I'm wondering.
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
you know, but see, Kourtney Kardashian, I remember I watched her morning skincare routine. It's wonderful for her to have a long skincare routine because she's a mom. So, yun lang yung time niya for herself. This is really my only time for myself. You know, I get to take care of myself. I get to think. I get to breathe. And then after that, I'm ready to face the world. So for guys like you or for some people, it may feel like, oh, that's such a long process,
It
right?
really is, yeah.
But for other people, like Kourtney Kardashian
It's
and many...
therapeutic because that's how you unwind and all
Oo.
that. Okay, so if people are doing it because of the therapeutic and the skin benefits, I'm totally fine with it. If it's getting in the way of work where it's like...
But in general, those are our 3 topics. Please don't forget to let us know what you think. If it's wonderful or not so wonderful, or if you're still wondering about it.
Yes, let me know, please. Tweet me. I want to know.
All right, you guys. So that's pretty much it for this first episode of That's Wonderful. We hope you guys had an amazing time talking about all of our topics for today. If you have anything to say to us, please, hopefully nothing think violent. So please use the hashtag #CreateWithLove and hashtag That's Wonderful on all of your social media accounts. We'd love to hear from you.
I want to make sure that everybody visits our newsletter that is located at Globe's website, which is www.globe.com.ph, and you can see all of our wonderful content over there. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys that tuned in. It's our first episode. We're going to get even better as we go along, and hopefully you guys are going to be there on this ride with us until the very end. For Miss Joyce Pring, I'm Aaron Atayde, and we hope to catch you guys in a couple weeks for some more news, trends, a whole lot of tidbits that will make you guys go, that's wonderful. Bye.
Paalam.
Bye. Bye.